In their book, Teaching in the Flat World, Linda Darling Hammond and Richard Rothman examine high-performing educational systems in Finland, and Ontario, and Singapore in order to identify characteristics that make them successful and also to suggest ideas that might be transported to other nations in order to improve their educational systems. I will take as my focus the educational system in Finland, in particular its emphasis on developing strong teachers as a foundation for its educational success. I will attempt to answer three questions. First, why are teachers in Finland of such high quality? Second, is it valid to place the explanation for educational success in Finland on the shoulders of its teachers, or are there other factors that should be considered? And third, can the success of the Finnish educational system be replicated in the U.S. by emphasizing teacher quality in a similar manner, or are there other factors that need to be considered? So, Darling, Hammond, and Rothman note that the attention paid to Finland dates to its remarkable performance in the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development's Program for International Student Assessment over the first decade of the 20th century. And this success brought it to the attention of the educational world. And their conclusion is it's the teachers. And they note that teaching in Finland is a profession that is accorded great respect, and thus it's a preferred profession for many in college. They also note that there are high entry standards and careful preparation for all teacher candidates, that there are comparatively high salaries, there's low attrition, there are no external standardized tests to compromise teaching, there is a high level of autonomy, there is a significant role for teachers in developing curriculum on the local level, there is less time, comparatively speaking, less time devoted to classroom instruction and more time devoted to preparation and collaboration with peers, and finally that teachers play a prominent role in selecting school leadership. So the question is whether the high quality of teachers in Finland is the explanation for student success in PISA. Laura Perry is not so certain. She notes that there are some participating countries in PISA that have high scores without having the same teacher characteristics as Finland. She also notes that other participants in PISA have similar teacher characteristics to Finland, but without experiencing the same level of success. Finally, she says that, as a conclusion, that there are too many variables that are interacting in a variety of ways to determine if anyone, like teacher quality, can be determinative for educational outcomes. Similarly, Andere says that he sees a multitude of factors involved in determining educational outcomes, and that the teacher hypothesis, in his opinion, is not sufficient to explain high student performance. So finally, the third question is, can this be replicated in the United States? Well, not if you take Ravitch's view. Ravitch says that the most important causes of educational failure in the United States are poverty, inequality, racism, and segregation. And if you're not going to address these, as the root cause of educational disappointment, then no teacher preparation, no high salaries, no level of respect, no amount of autonomy, or anything else is going to change those disappointing outcomes. So the conclusion that I've reached is that all the characteristics of teachers in Finland would be a welcome improvements in the United States, particularly the autonomy and the role that they have in curriculum development. But without addressing the root causes of poor educational outcomes, improving the status of teachers in the United States will not be sufficient to change those poor outcomes.